Hello, in this lesson we will learn about the options of the arc command to create bows in AutoCAD. Arches can be produced in some ways in AutoCAD. The arc command, as its name says, creates arcs in various ways. We can also create arcs using the fillet command, polyline, which we will see later. An arc can also be generated by removing a part of a circumference. What remains is an arc. The fillet command that we will see later can be used in many cases to create arcs. In this lesson we will focus only on the command arc. Open the example provided for you can train a little. The arc command can be activated via the command line, but also through the menu. Note that from the menu there are several predefined options. If you enable the command arc from the command line, typing arc, you need to set the options you want to enter. Then the easiest thing is to select from the menu. Note that if we hold the mouse over the menu for a while, AutoCAD shows a help that can help you understand how the command option works. This works for most AutoCAD commands. In this case, the option arc by 3 points shows in the example an arc and the indicated sequence of the 3 points to form it. Let's see another example. Start, center, angle. Note that help shows the arc in red and the sequence of the point centered. In this example the last, that is the angle, can be defined by a point on the screen, or with a typed value corresponding to the angle you want. Let's make a few examples. Here on the screen there are some arches, texts and a new object that are the dots. These points were located only on the basis for making the arches. In practice they do not need to be used for making bows. The arc by 3 points will be created passing over 3 points informed in the graphic area. We will make an arc by 3 points, on these 3 points indicated. To capture the points we need to activate the precision tool node that captures points. We left the orthogonal and snapshot disabled. We've activated the arc command by 3 points. We approach the mouse over the first point and notice that the precision tool indicates with a green symbol, which is the capture of the point. Node also captures the insertion point of text, so let's take care to select only the points. We click on the first point, on the second and the third, and so we finish this arc. Now let's do the example below. We activate the arc and select the 3 points. This type of arc is used when you need to pass the arc by at least 3 points. And in this case it does not matter whether it is entering the sequence of points clockwise or counterclockwise. Already in the case of the other options it is somewhat different. We open the menu to create arches and see how the options are divided. In this area are the options to start the arc, defining the starting point and the center. In this other part of the menu the options to start the arc by starting point and end point. In this other part the options to start the arc by the center point and starting point. And lastly to make continuous arches of the last arch made. Let's create arches with some of these options. Note the second option for making arches, start, center, end. In this case you must enter with the points in the indicated sequence, the beginning of the arc, its center, and where it ends. The arcs are originally created counterclockwise. This arc just below was also made in the same way, starting point, center and end. Confirming counterclockwise. Let's then make the bow with this option. We've activated the command. With the node tool active we select point 1, 2 and 3 in the sequence. And the bow is done. But if we select backwards I, E, instead of selecting starting point 1, we switch to 3. We undo the operation to do this test. We activate the command and select the first point in 3, the center point at point 2 and the end point in point 1. See that the arc was made counterclockwise i.e., from the first point to the last point. But there is a simple way to reverse this. We undo the bow made and we will do similar to the last sequence. Note that after we select the center of the arc, the command line shows a message. Press Ctrl to swap, i.e., if we press the Ctrl key the arc is done in reverse. This control function for inverting the arc is present in most options for making arcs, and is usually shown after entering the second point. Let us now activate the third option Start, Center, Angle. We select the starting point as shown. The center at this point, and now we can enter with the angle value. Note if we press Ctrl the direction of the arc will be reversed. We leave counterclockwise and enter 45 to make the corresponding arc. The fourth bow option in the menu, you can set the arc by the starting point, center and size of the bowstring, which is the size of an imaginary line that connects the starting point to the end point of the arc. Used in specific cases. We have activated the fifth option, which allows you to define an arc by starting point, end point and an opening angle. That is, the center will be located automatically so that the arc is at the angle set. Note that by moving the mouse we can see the angle and how the arc would look. Let's type 180 and now we have a half circumference. We now activate the Start and Direction option, select the starting point, the end point, and notice that the third point is an imaginary line tangent to the first point. See that moving the mouse the arc always becomes tangent to this line. Then we click on any point and the arc is done. The other options are similar to the ones we've seen. The last option is the Continue, which makes an arc tangent to the last arc created. We activate and define a point, notice that the arc created is tangent. If we click again same option, another arc will be made at the end of that. So you can create arcs tangent to the newly created ones. We learned here how the options for creating arches work. In this same file, just below there are two pieces that you must complete with the arches. There are several ways and you can use various options available. Train with several of them. In the next class we will see the application of the commands in these drawings. Until then.